Okay. Yeah, it's recording. It was telling me that it was exceeding something, and I don't think I've ever gotten to 30 minutes when I did a video, but that's what it was saying. So anyway, I guess your limit's 30 something minutes. I don't know. Anyway, so my husband was saying, you know, apply for this job, and I didn't want to apply for it, but he started applying for these jobs for me because he knew that I wasn't going to apply for them because I'm like, I ain't gonna be looking like fool. I said, furthermore, I don't even know enough. How am I going? I mean, you know, I'm fresh out of high school. I mean, high school. I'm fresh out of nursing school, whatever. But he said, no, you need that. So he's, like I said, he started applying for these jobs, and I'm getting calls on some, and I didn't even know I had applied for them because my husband was doing all this. Well, long story short, the people called, wanted an interview with me at the Texas Health Specialty Hospital, which is at it's a small entity of a hospital within a bigger hospital, because it was like set apart. When I say set apart, it was its own separate entity, even though it was within this big hospital, because it was a long-term care facility for people that, you know, were going through a transition type phase. If they had been hurt bad or whatever, then they needed the time to heal, and they didn't just send them home, and they couldn't just stay in the regular bed. Then they sent them to our area there. So the patients that we had were very critical. Most of them were trach patients. They were on breathing machines. They were wound patients. Most of the patients that we had for like we had one patient for like a year. So to qualify to come to that unit, you had to be, you're going to be there for at least 6 months before you got, you know, to get better, to move on to rehab or whatever. So that's the job that I got, the first real job, I'm going to say, that I got as a nurse assistant. And I was in an unknown familiar territory, which is where God was trying to put me. So I couldn't be dependent on myself. I couldn't have this 20 years of experience in graphic artists. He put me in somewhere where, you know, I was just out there, and I couldn't do nothing but depend on him. So it's just amazing how we may think, like when I went and did that job, and sometimes we think we didn't get what we want, you know, but there's a reason. We can't foresee the future, what's ahead, but God can. So sometimes he has to shut some doors because that's not the door he wants us to go into. So when he was shutting those doors and I couldn't figure out why, and I'm like, well, why even waste the time to even go to him? But it was all done for a purpose, and I didn't understand it at the time. But as I, you know, continued to work in the field of where I'm at now, it all became ever so clear. And even when I look at where I'm at working now, so I'm at the Texas Health Specialty Hospital, and I worked there from 2012. I got hired on there March of 2012. And so here's another interesting thing I want to add. So when I got hired on, I had to, you have to get a flu shot. And I couldn't get a flu shot because I had that GBS back in 2000. So I was exempt from getting a flu shot because that could, you know, spawn me getting that disease all over again. So I couldn't get a flu shot, and I was trying to find a doctor. I don't think I even had a primary care physician at this time. So I was trying to find a doctor, and that was the only thing. I already went through the process of the paperwork and all that stuff, the interview. The only thing left that they needed to get done for me was to get this flu shot on file so I could begin work and start orientation. Well, I had to find a primary care physician, and if any of you know, when you're trying to find a doctor, you don't just call and you get a doctor right there. You can call in June, and they won't be able to see you, let's say June, July, August, September, maybe October. So I'm like, no, I need something right away. And so I was calling people, and yes, that was what I was getting. I can't see you to this, I can't, and I really didn't need to be seen, but I had to be seen just to get in, to get a physician so they could sign off on me not being able to get a flu shot. I'm trying to think who was the doctor when I was sick and all that stuff. So my brain is just going, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So I'm like thinking, I'm not gonna get the job. They're gonna just give it to someone else. I can't even get. So I texted the lady, and the lady that interviewed me, who became my supervisor, her name was Karen, and yeah, Karen, just like me. So just different spelling. So I texted her and I said, or maybe, no, I texted her. I said, I'm having trouble getting my flu shot, blah, blah, blah. You know, she could hear the nervousness and me all stressed out in my voice. And she said, Karen, it's okay. She said, just get it done. And then when you get it done, just present it. So it was almost like she was saying, the job is yours. Just chill and just get what you need to get done. And I remember telling a friend or somebody, I mentioned it to them, and I was spazzing out before them too. And they said something more or less like, you know, what I felt that my supervisor was saying. They said, look, God didn't bring you to that job to not let you get work in that job. So when she said that, it kind of gave me some peace, because I'm like, well, yeah. But then the enemy telling me, well, he took you to that graphics interview, but you didn't get that. So, you know, the enemy playing with me. I'm like, oh, here I go, back in a frenzy again. But so long story short on that, I finally did get to see a doctor, and I got signed off on the flu shot that I couldn't get it. So I got hired on at this job. So I worked there, and yes, it was like so different from that nursing home that I worked at. I felt like a fish out of water. I think that's what my supervisor said. She observed me one day working, and she said, you look like a fish out of water. But she said that in the interview, well, not the interview. She said that after when I was time for me to leave there, because I left that job after, I think I was there 2012, 13, 14, 15. I think I was there 4 years. Yeah, I think I left there in 16 or 17. I should know these dates, but yeah, I have to write stuff down. But anyway, when she found out that I was leaving, well, I think I told her. I say found out. Maybe I didn't tell her because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I don't know. But anyway, she said that she said, I really hate for you to go. I know that you'll be great. She said, I saw how you grew from how you was here and how you are now. She said that first week you were here, you were like a fish out of water, Karen. You didn't know anything, you know, and I didn't. And that's what God wanted. He wanted me not to know nothing so I could put the glory. It all went back to him. So it was him. He was getting the credit, not me. So, yeah, she said, you know, I came in just lost, but I left with so much knowledge. And that's what I was trying to do when I was there. So this hospital that opened up that I was trying to get to was closer to where we were living now. So it was like 7 minutes from where we were living. And so when that hospital opened up, I kept hearing people say, oh, yeah, it's hard to get on there. They just open and they just hiring, you know, certain people, and, you know, not like to be discriminated, but I guess people with a lot of experience or whatever, the best of the best. I don't know. I don't want to say like other hospitals didn't have the best of the best, but basically what was going in my ear was, and it wasn't nothing but the enemy, was trying to say, yeah, you won't get hired on there, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And I even had some co-workers where I currently worked at the time at the specialty hospital that had people that worked there, or, you know, spouses, whatever, and they were saying, yeah, you know, it was going to be difficult. So a position came, because I was ready to move from where I was at. You know, it's almost like you just get this feeling where this chapter is over. It served me well. I learned a lot, and I gained the knowledge that I needed to equip me to move, to branch. So I wasn't going to just move from the type of work I was doing. I was still trying to do that type of work. But here again, God had something else, obviously, for me. Now, I was ready to get away really from that type of work because that's a lot of strain on your body, and I'm not getting any younger. So there was a position that came up in the type of where I work. It's similar, you know, pretty much similar. So I applied for that position and went for the interview, but I didn't get that position. So I was like, well, darn. And then the next position was for maternal newborn. So I'm like, you know, I'm going for it. I'm just going to go for it because I just felt confident because of the experience and the knowledge that I had gained from where I was at the specialty hospital. I've like, if I can go there and start out like a fish out of water that didn't know nothing, and here when I'm getting ready to leave, my supervisor is now telling me, you know, how good I am and that she did not want me to leave and the door is always open if I want to come back. Well, that gave me enough confidence to know, hey, I can do this. With God, I didn't just think I could do it because I knew it was God that put me there and he was helping me, equipping me to do the job that I was doing. So I took the faith with me to know that he was going to help me in this other venture as well. He shut the door for the one that I was familiar with, that I probably was sure that I could do. And then here was an opportunity for maternal newborn. So I'm like, well, I'm a grandmother, surely. I've been a mother, you know, I'm good. I'm good. That's the experience I've got in tending with kids. So, which is what I tell the lady in the interview. And so, long story short, I got hired for that job. Yes. Can you believe it? I couldn't. Well, I could because I was actually already claiming it, to be honest. I'm going to just say that I was already claiming it because I felt good. I just felt like because of what I had already previously experienced and the fact that God shut the door on the one that was going to be familiar in the medical field of what I was already doing, of nursing. When that door got shut, and I'm like, okay, well, then there's something else that he has that he wants me to do. And sure enough, he put me in maternal newborn. And so, again, I'm like a fish out of water because it's a difference of night and day from what I was used to. But yet, as I, you know, put my faith, trust in God that he was going to help me, I figured, okay, he put me here, so he's going to keep me here. He put me here for a reason. And so, thankfully, glory be to God, I'm still there at that job. I love it. I'm only 7 minutes from work. There's no heavy lifting of patients. All I've got to lift is a baby, you know, help moms to the restroom. Yeah, so it's just a blessing. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm sorry if it was as long-winded as it was, but like I said, I didn't want to leave anything out. Again, I will have to just share my story with the Guillain-Barré syndrome because I think that also would be a blessing and help and encourage someone. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope that you got something out of it. And yeah, please, I know you probably don't want to check it out now because you just watched this long video, but please check out the link in the I'm gonna put it in this video as well. I'm gonna put the links in this one too, just in case someone didn't watch the other one, because I really want you guys to check out that video from that pastor from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Michael Todd, about crazy faith. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Peace.